Happy Friday. How's everybody doing? It's sure great to see everybody. We always start a few minutes early because we have a busy agenda, and so we'll still have people coming in. Welcome. We are so glad that you are here. This is the 28th meeting of the year. We're so glad to see each one of y'all. And if you'll rise. Richard Stanford will lead us in the invocation and pledge. Thank you.
Would you bow your heads? Father, it's such a joy to have sunny days again. It's such a joy as Omicron retreats. We look so forward to being out amongst each other. We'll be different people because we don't know if it comes back or we don't know if it becomes endemic, and we don't know a lot of that stuff. But Father, we always know that there are new futures with you, and we feel like we're stepping into that. Thank you for Rotary, for all the people in Rotary around the world, including Dr. Satish, who's with us and will be introduced. Father, thank you for the work that gets done for the neediest by people who care, and that's Rotary. We pray all of this in your name. Amen. Now, if you would join for our Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Now our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You're here.
I just say we've been asked to by Doug Means to keep in our prayers his son, who is in Baylor McKinney now, and will be undergoing surgery next week. So if you would put Doug Means' son in your prayers, we'd appreciate it. Thank you.
Any other concerns? Thank you, Daniel. Absolutely. Anyone else? Okay. Let's keep them in our prayers. If you are a guest, and if you brought a guest, if you'll please stand. We want to make sure that all of our guests are introduced properly. We have a lot of fun guests, and then some that are still on their way.
Good morning, each of you.
All right, there we go.
Very good morning to all of you. I am Dr. Satish Damankar. I am a medical practitioner. I am a OBG specialist from India. I come from RI District 3170, and I bring greetings from my District Governor, Rotarian Gaurish Dhon, my President Milind Patankar, and our RI President Shekhar Mehta, who happens to be from Calcutta. So it's nice to be here. I was an assistant governor year before, and I have held many positions for the last 10 years in Rotary at the district level. And I was a friendship exchange leader which visited United States, Long Island's District 7255 in 2016. So it's a pleasure. And I was also a GSC team alumni, GSC team member in 96, 97. And I happened to visit Nebraska, District 5630. So I am very happy to be here with all of you. And with me is my son, Nachiket. He is a software engineer, and he lives here in Dallas at Frankfurt Road.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
We're glad to
So
hear
I
that.
thought that it will be a nice opportunity to have an interaction, and I would like to introduce him, and he will talk something about himself.
Like my dad said, I'm a software engineer. I moved here in July. Previously in India, I was a charter president for a road track club. I was part of the road track club for 3 years. And just accompanying my dad, meeting all of you interesting people, and having a good time. Thank you.
Fantastic. Welcome.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Keith Mankin. I'm your Assistant District Governor. I'm a past president of the Dallas Uptown Club, so I recognize a lot of faces both from our club, formerly, and also from around. I am a former doctor. I was a pediatric orthopedic surgeon for longer than I care to think about, and now I'm a writer and a creative consultant, helping people get their voice out there. Delighted to be here and hope that now that things are opening up a bit, you'll see me more and more.
Awesome. This is Leo. This is his second meeting, and I figured I'd just let him introduce himself. So, take it away.
Hey, good afternoon. My name's Leo Avila. I was here for the Veterans Day appreciation.
Fantastic.
Appreciate y'all putting that together. I was in the Army from 04 to 08.
Thank you for your service.
It was my pleasure. Currently doing accounting with, used to be Hunt Oil, but they rebranded as Hunt Energy. And then I'm also adjunct accounting professor at Collin College at the Spring Creek campus.
Wow.
Chris Blackman. I have the honor of having two guests today. One is a very new friend and one that's an old friend. Doug Ferber, we just met yesterday, but he is the new publisher for the Good Life Park Cities magazine and Park Cities residents, and just think we've got a great relationship started. So glad you're here. Thanks for coming to lunch. And Monty Phelps, who's with Cross Country Mortgage. Do a lot of deals with this guy. He's an amazing person. You need to get to know him. So thank you both for coming.
All right, yes. Who might you be introducing?
He thought I was the visitor. I want to introduce my first and current wife of 64 years, Beth. Thank you.
Oh, will you also introduce?
Say hi. Oh, yes.
This is Susan Glenn. She's with the Fort Worth Rotary Club. She is checking out other Rotary clubs, and she is with a career EMP.
It's CMP, Career Management Partners, and I've been a member of the Rotary Fort Worth, hey there, club for 4 years. So, but I live in Plano, so I'm excited to be here. Thank you, Happy.
We're thrilled you're here. Special welcome to each of our guests, those that have traveled from far and that are around here. We're so happy to have each one of y'all. This week's PCR Marketplace advertiser is Bart Noble. Kyle Marmillion's going to tell us all about him. Come on up, Kyle.
Awesome. Okay, so Bart Noble. About 20 years ago, Bart joined his neighbor Mario Messina for a Rotary meeting at Maggiano's. There he met Rod Pirtle, then club president, behind whom he often sat on Sunday mornings in the sanctuary of Highland Park United Methodist Church. Bart was impressed by the professionalism and camaraderie of the club, and he soon became a member, as he has been almost every year since. His career spans 30 years of award-winning sales of technology, marketing technology software, and consulting. After retiring from IBM in 2012, he founded Mosquito Mr. Natural, providing complete mosquito abatement services without the use of toxic chemicals. The company's most recent product is Mosquito Fog, the culmination of years of field testing by Mosquito Mr. Natural. It's available on Amazon, and Mosquito Fog is a pesticide that kills mosquitoes, yet doesn't contain anything toxic to people or pets of all kinds. When he's not looking for ways to kill more mosquitoes, he enjoys listening to music, dining, and hiking with his wife Lisa near their uptown home. Please join me in thanking Bart for his sponsorship.
Thank you, Kyle and Bart. Greg Pape, who chairs our Rotary International Foundation team, is going to give us an update on the Rotary Foundation. Come on up, Greg.
Well, Rotary International is sure growing. How many times have I had an opportunity to be up there, here, last 20 years doing this and saying, 1,000,002 members, 1,000,003 members. Well, now Rotary is a global network of 1,000,004 million neighbors and friends, leaders, problem solvers who see a world where people unite and take action to create a lasting change across the globe, in our communities, and even in ourselves. Solving real problem takes a real commitment and a vision, and for 110 years, Rotary's people of action have used their passion and energy to take action from literacy and peace to water and health. We're always working to better our world. Every now and then we want to measure our progress. So year to date, July 1 to today, we're in a fiscal year, we've pulled together, Cindy, thank you for your contribution, $25,290 to the annual fund. And the annual fund, for those who go online, is the best place to put your money, because half of it comes back to our district. There's 61 Rotary clubs in our district, and when it does, that's where we get the chance to exercise on a club level where we'd like to put the money, even if it's local or national or global. If you put it in the World Fund, it's your discretion, it's your choice, but Rotary keeps it. We'd like to get half of it back, so the annual fund is the key word. So we have 14 major donors now. These are Rotarians that have committed and paid over $10,000 towards the Rotary Foundation, 14 of them. Based on the endowment side, we have 7 Bequest Society members. Those are people who have in the codicil of their will a commitment to give the Rotary Foundation over $10,000. And we have 14 benefactors, and those are people that give anywhere up to, but not including, $10,000. The club has reached, as of this morning, $1,028,368, our all-time giving record. Not bad, since the club's inception in 1948. Our district, comprised of 61 Rotary clubs, has reached an annual giving total, which is just out the ballpark of $205,000 among 61 Rotary clubs. I think that's pretty awesome. So to further measure our progress, getting into an individual level, I'd like to ask Lori Aldridge to come up. I know you're eating. Take a minute. past President Donnie Berg, and past President Rod Pirtle. Rod, you think you can join us up here? Okay. I'll meet you halfway. But individually, you know, Lori's our club administrator, and she has now a Rotary Foundation contribution level at the 3rd level, so she has the beautiful Paul Harris pin and 2 sapphires. Lori, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
And Donnie, past President Donnie, who joined the club in July of 1979. You have a beautiful Paul Harris pin with 2 rubies. You're at the 8th level. Congratulations. Thank you. Stay up here. We're going to take our picture. And then Rod, past President Rod, here is your 8th level Paul Harris pin with 2 rubies. 8th level, past president in 0102. And that's the lineup for today. Thank you.
Thank you for the help. You're welcome.
Thanks, Lori.
Congratulations, very exciting. Yes. And so next we have Happy Bucks. This is where you share something that you're really happy about and whatever denomination you'd like to share with the club. So you share something that you're really happy about and whatever dollar denomination that you'd like, $1 bill, $100 bill, anything in between. So my Happy Bucks, I would like to put my Happy Bucks in for all the great, fantastic guests that we have today.
All this talk this year about SMU football, we've got Donnie Berg in the house. We're going to celebrate the pure grit SMU basketball team and knocking off Houston the other night.
Way to go.
Okay, I wasn't sure to do this as a prayer request or Happy Bucks, but a huge cloud has been lifted. I left my employment, thank God. But on the downside, now I'm looking for a job. So in any case, I'm an attorney, 25 years of experience, do not want to go back into private practice, tons of corporate law experience, but I would really, really love to run a nonprofit. So please, if you guys know of anybody that needs an executive director or any sort of opportunity coming up in a nonprofit, that's my dream job, and I'm at the point in life where you got to follow your dreams now, or it's never, right? So that's my Happy Bucks. Say a little prayer for me, and if you think of anything, let me know.
Congratulations, Hollis.
Not to dismiss our fine veteran who served the Army, but I am Happy Bucks are still a due from Navy beating Army. Go Navy. And Happy Bucks, my sons are doing great. They're getting ready for this upcoming season to beat Army again this year. They'll be back in Philadelphia. And also, we're happy about this last week's storm. We didn't have the near the tragedies we had last year, so we're very excited about that.
Awesome.
Congratulations.
Got 2 things. First, you know, good things sometimes come in small steps, and COVID has been such a nuisance for us. Here's the small step I noticed today. The valet parking is back on this upper level outside Dillard's. That is the first time in 2 years they've been there. I think it's a small step toward some kind of normalcy. Also, I want to celebrate past President Philip Bankhead's birthday today. So,
all right, Philip, happy birthday.
29 again.
Well, I want to celebrate SMU's victory over Houston as well. Most of you know I played at SMU from 1966 to 70. We won the conference my freshman year when freshmen couldn't play, and then they won the conference the year after I left.
Oh, no.
But it was a good run, and they're having a good season this year, and so we're hopeful they'll get a bid into the NCAA tournament.
And exciting.
So I recently had lunch at Chili's, something I hadn't done in a while. And when I went to pay my bill, they have a little computer thing that you stick your card in. And one of the things that caught my eye, and the reason I'm sharing my lunch event with you, is because they have a setup that if you have additional change or if you'd like to make a contribution to Bonton Farms, just do it on their computer. And so if for no other reason that you don't like to go to Chili's, or you don't like their margaritas, or their burgers are not to your taste, go in there and let them know that you appreciate their support for Bonton Farms.
That's great.
Another COVID happiness. Our daughter-in-law and our youngest grandson had COVID, and they've both tested negative, and they're out of the house. So that's great.
My happy buck goes to the fact that Beth and I just became great grandparents. Now, what's killing me is that my baby boy is a grandfather. That's what.
I just wanted to give happy bucks. I got to celebrate another turn around the sun this week, so I'm glad to be here.
Happy birthday, Eric.
Chris Blackman, first off, again, thanks for having my guests that came along today. But also, last week, quick little story, right at the end of the storm, my son said, hey, the ring's ready. Can you bring it to Houston? And so Friday morning, we braved our way down to Houston, delivered the ring in time at 6 o'clock, and he's engaged to be married. So we're so excited.
Wow. Very exciting. And now if Mr. Sean Johnson will come up. Sean's our co-chair for our Public Service Recognition Luncheon, and he's also a new member, and he's just completed his red badge checklist. He did it in record fashion. So all of our new members have to complete this red badge checklist, and hopefully it's not too cumbersome. No handstands or anything like that, but we appreciate you doing it so quickly, and here is your permanent badge. Way to go. Awesome. Great work. Eric HEITKAMP, we have two fabulous service projects this month, and Eric HEITKAMP is going to tell us about the first one. He's going to tell us about the Salvation Army's Paint and Stain Day. Come on up, Eric, one of our past presidents.
Right, thank you, President Happy. It's great to hear all the good stories today. Thank you. The Salvation Army, the Leisure Time Activities Project, we're finally have a light at the end of the tunnel on that, and we have a dedication date, ribbon cutting of April 29th. So we will be having lunch there that day. Where we're at right now, we've got all the concrete completed. We've got some of the higher fascia painting completed. And then we also have a lot of the landscaping and shrubbery completed. And we are going to have a hands-on date, March 5th. It's from just 9 to 12. It's on a Saturday. And we need about 8 to 10 people. We're going to finish up the sitting area, stain and paint that, and paint a couple gates. And that's really about it. And then next week, we are having, barring any weather issues, we're going to have the big court resurface, so for pickleball and basketball, so that's the big part of that, and barring all the weather. And then we're looking forward to April 29th, and any help we can get on March 5th, we'd sure appreciate it. No professional experience necessary. Thank you.
Dr. Jennifer Hammond will come on up and tell us about our second service project this month.
So this service project was going to be in conjunction with 2 other clubs, but one club had something already going on, and then the second club wasn't sure how it would work. So it is a virtual food drive for the North Texas Food Bank. It's just with our club, but it is very important. It's easy to do. Happy sent out an email with a link. You can click on that and it'll take you directly through it. If you're not sure how much you want to give, realize that they have pictures there that kind of show you a dollar amount is equal to so much food or so much water and stuff like that. And if you want to just go straight on to the North Texas Food Bank or our website, you go onto our website. If you don't, okay. So if you don't find Happy's email for one reason or another, go to our. She'll send one out again today. But if you beat her to it, which is hard to do, just like I can't beat her to the. No, just kidding, Happy. Okay, if you beat her to it, if you'll just go to our website, there's a link there, and you click on that, and it'll take you through it. And then we get credit if you go through our website.
And Ms. Holly Hollenbeck does a fabulous job leading our PCRConnects each month. This is our networking social that we have each month. It's always at a fun place. She's going to tell us about this month's PCRConnect.
Okay. Well, I hope you all come out and network with your fellow unemployed lawyer. We're going to FENIX, and my camera just went off, so now I don't know what date. The 17th, maybe? March 17th from 5 to 7. It's February, February. Wow, I cannot get a word out today. So in any case, we're going to have a fabulous time networking, as we always do. Hope to see you there at FENIX. It's just right down the street from here, 5 to 7. February 17th, and then March 16th, we're going to be at the front room, and that's from 5 to 7. So that'll be a fun time as well. So if you want to put that on your calendar, we look forward to seeing y'all.
Looking forward to it. They have great chips and drinks and lots of great food. So that's going to be lots of fun next Thursday. And now Mark Neese is going to share with us the membership minute. Come up, Mark.
Hey everyone, great to see you today. So I have 2 things to do real quick. I'm not going to take very much time. I met, so Happy and I, along with about 6 or 7 other fellow Rotarians, were members of a Tuesday morning business networking group about 10 years ago, 10, 11 years ago. And so Happy invited me to, several of them invited me to Rotary. They were all members of the Dallas Uptown Club at the time. So I went and visited the Dallas Uptown Club several times, and then I kind of got busy and, didn't really go back. And then Happy became a member of our club. And I was curious, and so I asked her why, and she said, well, why don't you just come with me and you'll see. And so I came and visited our club now a few times, and I think actually in between my first and second time visiting was the 4th of July parade. And so I wasn't a member yet, but I agreed to come help and volunteer at the 4th of July parade, and that's kind of what kind of sealed the deal for me. So I'm happy to have been a member now a little bit over 7 years. I just had my 7th year anniversary. Really happy to see Happy as the president of our club this year. It's just been a really great experience, so many great relationships and friendships and also business relationships. And so it's just been a great experience, and I'm happy that I can contribute to the club and our success. Second thing is, how many of you use Facebook? How many of you have the Facebook app on your phone? Okay, take out your phone right now, okay? And as soon as our speaker comes up today, take a picture with your phone and share it to your Facebook profile and tag our club. The way that you tag our club is you put in the @ symbol, and if you start typing in Rotary Club of Park, it'll come up, our page will come up, and you click on that page and it will tag our page in your post, okay? If you have trouble with that, go ahead and take the picture and then come and see me after. and I'll show you how to do it on your own Facebook app. Okay, so that really helps our club. We have members now that saw us either on Facebook or YouTube, and they came and visited the club because of that. So if we want to grow our membership and continue putting out the good word about what we do as a club, because it's phenomenal what we do in the community. So if we want to build membership, we have to be active and proactive about promoting ourselves on social media and other places where people who are interested in the opportunities that we provide, where they are. So thank you very much.
Thank you for all that you do, Mark. I'm very excited that he's going to be our public image board of director next year. Very excited about that. So a few quick announcements. If you are interested in going to the Rotary International Convention, if you're just now checking out hotel rooms, they're expensive. I have access to some rooms that are at a really reasonable price. And anyway, so just email me if you need that contact info. We can get you a great hotel room. So we have some great RCPC merchandise. We have our baseball cap that we're going to now wear to all of our events, including the parade. That's $20. That should be in within the next 1 or 2 Fridays. I'm real excited about that. We have the RCPC tumbler. Thanks to Barb, that's also $20. And then we have the fantastic Santa hat. I don't know if y'all have been noticing all these supply chain shortages. You know, these Santa hats are going to be a lot more expensive if you could try to buy these yourself in November and December. So go ahead and buy it now. And so you can join us in our November socials, service projects, our December socials and service projects, and everybody can know that we're all with the Park Cities Rotary Club. That's exactly right. And you can buy all that on the club store. Next Friday, we are not going to be here. There's a handful of Fridays that we're meeting elsewhere between now and June. So next Friday, we're going to be at the Park City Club. You can pay in advance on our club website. I'm also going to send out an email, so you can just click that there. Because when we're at the Park City Club, you can either bring, we prefer cash or check. The square's going to take a lot longer. So cash or check next week at the Park City Club. We have a fantastic speaker. It's going to be a lot of fun. Join us on Friday, February 25th at the DMA. We're going to see the Octavio Medellin exhibit. I am really excited. It looks like a really fantastic exhibit. So sign up online to join us there. Raise your hand if you've done Legacy of Leadership. We have lots of pictures of this year's class, and if you go on our website, you can see the box for this year's Legacy of Leadership class and pictures from the alumni event. And so I'm really excited that that's on there. Check that out. And now, without any further ado, Daniel DRABINSKI is going to introduce our fabulous speaker. Thank you.
Thank you very much, President Happy. Clearly, a lot of excitement going around both in the club and around town. We neglected to mention during Happy Bucks. Earlier today, I ran into Dr. Hammond. We were both in line at the Scout shop getting our Scots for Stafford T-shirts, one for each of the kids at $20 a piece. And there was literally a line going around the block for the Scots shop this past week. So a lot of excitement leading up to the Super Bowl, just a lot of positivity. There you go. Love it. So very excited about our speaker today, Mr. Blake Lindsay. I was introduced to Mr. Lindsay through our mutual friend, Brian Smoot, who emailed me with the introduction. The most amazing part to me was I responded back via email, and Mr. Lindsay literally responded within minutes. It takes some of you guys a week to get back to me via email, and Mr. Lindsay was on top of it. He expressed his excitement. He mentioned the fact that he had spoken to our club about 10 years ago and talked about, at that time, the Lighthouse for the Blind, now Envision Dallas. I later found out that Mr. Lindsay is incredibly accomplished. He's actually written 2 books. The first, Out of Sight, Living, a Sightless Person with Pure Vision. The second being Blind for a Purpose, Turning Life Challenges into Purpose in Life. He represents Envision Dallas as the manager for outreach. I just want to read off the mission statement for Envision Dallas, which is, quote, to improve the quality of life and provide inspiration. Did we lose it? Okay. Testing, testing. I'm just going to talk loudly. Okay, so that's all right. We'll let the tech group do their thing. So the mission of Envision Dallas is to improve the quality of life and provide inspiration and opportunity for people who are blind or visually impaired through employment, outreach, rehabilitation, education, and research. Envision is also one of the largest employers of people who are blind or visually impaired. So incredibly thankful to have Mr. Lindsay here with us today, and as well as Mr. Smoot, who serves on the board of Envision and is acting as his guide for today. Mark, do you need a minute?
Thank you, Brian. You are right here. You are right here. Thank you, Brian, and thank you, Daniel. What an introduction, and I hope everybody's doing great. You know, it sounds like you've had a wonderful winning week, and I love the synergy, such a positive synergy in this group today. And it's good to be back with my friend Happy Franklin. We've been friends for 12 years, and Happy did a wonderful job helping my wife to transition her 401k. And every time we get a statement and it's going up, we think, Happy Franklin, all right, you know. And she's always quick with a happy birthday, and it's really great to be with Happy. And also, Jeff McNulton, your second vice president, or first vice president, I should say. He's in San Diego, California today, but the weather's no nicer there than here. But he's out there today, and he's sorry he had to miss, but I've known him for quite a few years as well, and have worked with him. So you got some great people here, and it's a great day to be here and just tell you about some things that are really close to my heart. It's not every day you get to hear from somebody who can spell Mississippi with no eyes, you know. But I was a radio DJ for a long time, 22 years, and 10 years here in Dallas. And a lot of people accuse me of having a radio face, but, you know, I don't have to look in the mirror at all, so it's a good thing. But I want to tell you a little bit about myself. Mom and Dad were 25 and 6 when I was born, and they were school teachers. And Mom and Dad were very calm when they noticed that I started looking a little different with my eyes, and they were very prayerful, and I think that's why they were calm. But my brother, he was 15 months old, and Brad had all 5 of his senses. He's even got common sense today. I'm proud of my brother. But, you know, Mom and Dad really went through a lot. I don't feel like I went through anything going blind. I had cancer in my eyes, and thank goodness they were at the right doctor at the right time, because they saved my life by removing that cancer from my retinas, and it just is exciting to be alive every day, of course. And I've done a lot of good in the community with Envision Dallas, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about it. Again, it's to improve the quality of life by providing inspiration and opportunity for people who are blind and visually impaired, and we do that through employment, outreach, rehabilitation, education, and research. And as a person who's blind, I got to tell you, they are coming through at Envision Dallas. Been there for over 12 years already. That's about when I met Happy, and President Happy, I should say. And I tell you what, it's been a great 12 years, but the last 4 have been the best, because we went through a transition back in May of 18 that just changed our life over there. We had kind of lost our way a little bit. The mission was still strong, but we connected with some friends of mine in Wichita that I reached out to with my CEO friend, Michael Monafrani up there. And so he got together with our CEO, and I thought we would just partner and do some things together. But we ended up having a wonderful acquisition. And the next time, if you've ever been to Dallas Lighthouse for the Blind before, you're going to be amazed at the brand new place. We are now 90 years old. I feel pretty good for being 90, I got to tell you. But we are 90 years old, but now Envision Dallas is just back, and we're really, we empower independence for people who are blind and visually impaired of all ages. We start at 3 years old all the way to 100. I met a friend, Helen Patinslak, 97 years old when I met her, when we started helping her, and she was losing her sight pretty rapidly, but not until then. But when we showed her some new ways to do things and how easy it was really going to be, her attitude just did a quick 180, and she just was delighted to become a friend. And I think she is still alive today at 104 years old or so. But we help people at all ages and stages of life. And I think that the problem is, and I'm going to tell you about the employment factor here, because I'm really proud of our employment and what we've done with it. But 70% of people who are adults that are blind and visually impaired are not employed. I don't know if you know, we have a 70% unemployment rate with people who are blind. And I think a big factor there is the limitation of knowledge that people have on what the capabilities are that I have. That's really our biggest limitation, is the limited knowledge. And it makes sense to me, because if you don't know somebody who's blind or visually impaired, you have no clue what we can do. And I wouldn't either, if I were sighted and didn't know anybody who was blind. But Envision Dallas really saves the day for a lot of people, as we hire more than 100 people who are blind and visually impaired with manufacturing, textiles, and sewing. We've got an incredible system there. And there's a guy, I call him MacGyver. His name is Luis Vargas. But this gentleman is able to create a lot of safety features on the machines for safety, accuracy, and efficiency, and it keeps people safe. And we do such a wonderful job at safety. And we even make safety reflective vests for the road crew. So the next time you see a detour sign, don't get mad. Just know that you're helping us, because we're making road crew uniforms with not only we got vests, and we've got shirts, we've got trousers. So when you see a road crew, whether it's TxDOT or Texas North Tollway, whatever, we're doing that at Envision Dallas. We also make entrenchment tool carriers for people in the Army. My brother was in the Army, West Point graduate. We've made masks, high-quality masks, since the beginning of the pandemic, and I'm so glad that we're not making those as of very recently, because this pandemic is finally going away, and we can all celebrate that. We're going to be making new camo pants. These are advanced trousers that are heat-resistant. They're fire-resistant, I should say. And amazingly, this is going to add 50 jobs to people who are blind and visually impaired. I mentioned that we have just over 100 right now, so we will soon have around 150 in the next 11 months based on this brand new project. We make paper-based products. I brought a binder with me today that Brian can get out, and I know it's kind of tough to pass around, but anyway, these retirement binders are pretty cool. And we've been making like 100,000 for a long time, but pretty soon, Herf Jones got together with us yesterday and finalized the fact that we will soon be making not 100,000, but 2 million a year. This is going to add 20 jobs that are blind and visually impaired. So now we're up to 70 brand new jobs here in the next year or so. And so we're just growing, and it really is amazing how much people are considering us their preferred partner. When it comes to stuff like that, people think, well, I should give money to Envision Dallas, and that's always great because it helps our programs and services side. But if you've got a business opportunity, that's where Envision Dallas can actually really do a lot of stuff. So the paper-based binders, that's going to be incredible with Herf Jones. We're constantly investing into new infrastructure to have the machines to create the capacity to be able to do these big orders, because it takes some doing. We've really got some old machines that we've advanced, and so the machinery's gotten much better and much safer. And even when it's automation, we can teach people who are blind and visually impaired how to become machine operators. In our fulfillment center, we now have talking scanners. We just got these a year ago, and we used to have a lot of sighted assistants to help people pick packages and make sure that things were going to the right place. And now people who are blind and visually impaired can actually do that through these voice-activated scanners, and that's really a wonderful advancement there. If you got to be blind, now's the best time, I'm telling you. We got some technology. We also make wall pockets. These wall pockets, I'm surprised that we still do $250,000 a year, because you think paper's kind of going away, using something to hold the hard copies on your door. But we do make that product as well, about $250,000 a year of those. And so it's just amazing what all we're making. We're in charge of 30% of the writing instruments of the military. We make pens and highlighters, dry erase, $1 million a month sometimes, and you ought to hear these machines. It's amazing to hear the machines. One of them sounds like a jet airplane in our sewing department. It's a big cutter. But Envision Everything is the name of our product. If you ever see Envision Everything, we usually work with companies a lot of times too. For example, we've got some spreads that we send out to state institutions, and we've got different things that we make that we're able to change an ingredient by maybe taking some sugar out or something like that. And they enable us then to put our Envision Everything label on. And that's a lot of the things that we ship out from the fulfillment center will be able to be shipped out from one place. We're going to move in about 17 months up to Farmers Branch. And we have just bought the AT&T building. It was built in 1988. And so we're going to go from 90,000 square feet to 210,000 square feet. And man, we can use the space. It's really going to be wonderful to have that kind of space, because we make so many things and we're impacting so many lives with our programs and services. We touched over 3,000 people last year with assistive technology training that's with computers and iOS products. We're real proud of our teachers. They're blind and visually impaired. That makes them relatable. When somebody's losing their sight, they kind of want to learn from somebody who's got the same scenario, of course. You know, when somebody's losing their vision, they want to be able to be relatable, and we're very patient. Our teachers are some of the best, and they even teach me some things, and so I know they're patient because I learned how to use the iPhone about 10 years ago. My friend Al said, "You got to get an iPhone, buddy. You're getting behind the times here." So about 10 years ago, I got one, and it's funny because a week later, my cab driver accidentally let me out 3 blocks too soon. And so I turned this thing on walking directions, and it literally took me by the hand where I needed to go. And so I was really kind of glad it happened, to tell you the truth, because it gave me an opportunity to experiment with the technology. And so I wasn't mad at the cab driver. He misunderstood me, I think. And so anyway, I'll give him a break. It was okay. But yeah, we do injection molding, of course, and we also add value to a lot of people's projects. People have us package things. So if you have something that needs to be packaged, we set up an assembly line. We're able to package and ship out, and sometimes save a lot of money for people that way. We do a lot of kits, like tool kits and things like that. We work with Snap-on tools in the Army, work a lot with the Air Force, but the Army gets these Snap-on tool. They also have a firefighter thing that we put together as well. So sky's the limit on what we can do, and we, about 7 years ago, got a call center. I guess it's been longer than that, about 10 years ago now, but it's advanced to where we're doing the Better Business Bureau, getting businesses credited. That's a lot of fun to do that, but then we also sell them advertising that they tend to renew for. About 8 out of 10 customers renew the next year for the advertising side of it. So it's obviously doing some good, and that makes us feel good when we're renewing people, not having to twist their arm to, come on back to us. And so we've got that. We're working with the CDC on a health campaign, asking people a lot of nosy questions about what you eat and if people smoke and that kind of thing. Hopefully not, but that's your business. But anyway, we enjoy doing that because the CDC campaign is about a 15-minute interview with people all over the place. And so we're able to do well with blind and visually impaired jobs. That call center is about a 50-50 ratio because we started out with mostly people who are sighted, but then we've been able to adapt our software for job access with speech and different things for people who are blind and visually impaired to be able to close the deal, do sales, do customer service. We call business to business. We're doing inbound and outbound calling. And so if you have any project that needs some telemarketers, some really good experienced ones, I get to train these guys a little bit because I did a lot of telephone work. I worked with Bank of America and did a lot of call center opportunities. And so it thrills me that we've got this call center that's 35 seats now, but it's going to be 100 seats when we move to Farmers Branch. So that gives you an idea of some of the partnerships that we can have and Envision with serving our senior citizens, people that are 55 and above. We're helping out a whole lot by changing their life. Sometimes they think it's the end of the world for me. I just lost my sight. Now what am I going to do? And they find out about Envision Dallas, and we're able to help them whether they have any money or not. We want to make sure that we show them new ways to do things, orientation, mobility skills, and all kinds of little things that people can put on their microwave oven, just big sticky dots, to put the start-stop button in 1, 2, and 3 minutes or whatever. Simple things where they don't even have to know Braille right off. We can teach them that later. But we're just doing a lot of great things with programs and services and obviously Envision's employment. So I want to encourage you a couple of things. I want you to come by and see us. And I won't hit you up for anything. I just want to show you the camaraderie that we have. And you're going to be amazed when you actually get to see the factory. There's just a lot of things going on and a lot of happy people working with full-time jobs with benefits. And it really makes a big difference in our life to be able to have employment. gives us the same kind of fulfillment that, of course, you have. And I just loved hearing from every one of you today as you went around the room and all the synergy. If you have any questions for me right now, I wanted to leave room for that. And also let you know we got a golf tournament coming up, and I brought some brochures for our major fundraiser of the year. If you love to golf, we're going to be at Cowboys this year on April 25th, and that's the best golf place that we get to go to. It's really just a super place. Any questions about blindness or? Okay.
Yes, thank you so much for being here today. You mentioned a little bit that you Braille and that you could teach them that later, but I was kind of wondering, with all of the technology today and the voice-activated technology, is it necessary for a blind or visually impaired person to learn Braille?
Well, you know, it's funny you should mention that, because really only about 10% of the people that ought to be learning Braille are, because of that reason, which is a good reason, except I got to tell you that reading Braille has really been a blessing to me all of my life. I've really enjoyed tactile, you know, being able to read and write. It's got, you know, mathematics, punctuation, everything in print is in Braille. It's amazing that Louis Braille was able to come up with that in such a short period of time. And I don't know if you knew it or not, but Louis Braille took the same thing that poked him in the eye and blinded him at age 3. He took that same instrument when he was 12 years old, but he took a piece of paper and made the Braille alphabet with it. And so you talk about turning lemons into lemonade. But Braille has meant a lot to me since the first grade, and I love teaching people Braille, but I also realize that that they're going to do okay with speech software, and I'm glad that's available, because I know later in life it's difficult for me to take on Spanish. I know a little bit of Spanish, and I love it, but it's difficult to take on something brand new. And you know, Braille is completely different than print is. It's a simple system, but if you don't know it, it's not simple at first. And so, good question. A lot less people losing their sight and learning Braille today, but the ones who do want to learn Braille really thrill me, because I'm able to show them with a 6-pack egg carton. You know, I can align the eggs in a way that it looks like a 6-dot Braille cell, so I teach them that way, and then with a Perkins Braille writer. So it's a hoot. They really enjoy cracking the code and learning that Braille.
Yeah, I've got another question about Braille. When you first started speaking, I said, man, this guy got a great memory. And then I see you're running your fingers across a little piece of paper there, and then I said, man, that must be Braille. So how do you transfer your notes or your thoughts or something to a piece of paper like that? How do you physically do that?
Well, I have a computer. It's called Job Access with Speech. Now, I don't talk to my computer, but it talks to me. When I read something, I can read an email, like from Happy. You know, she can write me an email, and I read it, and then I can write her back like I did Daniel. We communicated that way. And then the same thing, like this information, I went ahead and actually typed it into a computer originally, because I wanted to know everything that we made. So I started talking to people like Scott Haney. He's one of our operations guys. And it got to the point where I realized that we were making so many things today that I needed to Braille and have a cheat sheet on some of this, because I know all about Envision Dallas. But boy, we've got so many products going now that I love Braille. You know, it really it's fun to read, and people think I got that memory, but I want them to see me glide my finger, you know, because it's really incredible what Louis did for us.
All right, any other questions? I've got a question. Looks like I'll be the last question, I guess. Do a lot of other businesses ask y'all for referrals or for people who are vision impaired? I mean, do you serve as a clearinghouse for other folks who want vision impaired employees?
We do, in fact, and it doesn't happen very often, but occasionally I'll hear about a call center opportunity, and so I'll call them up and find out if they're okay with us coming over and kind of looking at their database setup and whether it's compatible with Job Access with Speech, which sometimes it's not, and we'd have to get somebody to adapt. But I introduce ourselves and I let people know that we got some incredible call center people. Now, eventually we're going to be able to hire all those people ourselves, but right now sometimes we don't have a job for a moment, and so I can refer them if I know somebody's got a call center, and it seems like a decent opportunity, a good fit for one of us, then I'll do that. I remember I was working with hotels for a while, and I was getting people with low vision hired in maid services, you know, in the cleaning services, because they could see enough. I had one gentleman say, Blake, I'm having a hard time telling king size from queen size sheets, but they worked out a system for him. So there's little things that you have to work through, but then once people do, it's a win-win partnership. I tell you what. Excellent questions, everybody. Thanks for having me, and thank you, Brian, for communicating with Daniel and getting us all together. Brian Smoot has become a friend and a brother and somebody that really is an advocate for Envision Dallas. But if you want to come see us, I've got business cards. I've got a few golf flyers. I wasn't going to pitch too hard on that today, but if anybody wants to, love to have you out there. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Blake. And so they have about 5 copies of the all about the tournament. He would love to make sure that he doesn't leave with any of those 5. So be sure to get them from him. Blake, thank you so much for talking to us today. You're so entertaining and so informative. We appreciate the great work that you're doing at Envision Dallas, Dallas Lighthouse for the Blind. A book is being placed in your honor at McShan Elementary.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And then after the meeting, we'll get a picture in front of our public image banner.
Okay. Thank you, President Happy.
Thank you, Blake. Next week's meeting is going to be lots of fun. Again, it's at the Park City Club. Jeff Bednar, you may have heard of him. He's the co-founder of Profound Foods. They do aquaponic and hydroponic foods. They vegetables, all kinds of herbs. They sell to tons of restaurants. It's really informative. He's probably going to bring lots of herbs. He's a really incredible speaker, and so you won't want to miss that. That's next Friday at the Park City Club. You can register online or pay cash or check when you arrive. If you'll stand, Sean Johnson is going to lead us in the 4-way test.
The 4-way test is an ethical guide for Rotarians to use for their personal and professional relationships. The test has been translated into more than 100 languages, and Rotarians recite it at club meetings. Please recite with me. Of the things we think, say, or do. First, is it the truth? Second, is it fair to all concerned? Third, will it build goodwill and better friendships? Fourth, will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. Thanks for joining us today.